Things miserable on a few folks coming down the stretch. They've taken the Tigers 6 of the last 7 games. They've split this series so far in Kansas City, although they're 60-88 and 18 games out. They're playing the role of spoiler to perfection. Sox, on the other hand, 5.5 games in back of Detroit, 3.5 games in back of Minnesota. And those two teams hook up today. So the White Sox take the field and the Southwest starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals. It'll be Bloomquist leading it off. It'll be Mitch Meyer playing left field. Then Billy Butler, Mike Jacobs, Alberto Callaspo, who's been a thorn in the side of the Sox, John Buck, Luis Hernandez, Yuniesky Betancourt, and Josh Anderson playing center field and hitting 9. The Lowe's defensive lineup and how they'll set up behind Freddie Garcia left to right is Quentin Rios and Dye in the infield. It'll be Beckham, Ramirez, Getz, and Konerko. A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate. And the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher is Freddie Garcia. This is his 7th start of the year. He's 2-2, ERA in the mid-4s. Last 5 times out, he's thrown the ball exceptionally well. He's got command of that breaking ball these days. The changeup has been good, and he's been able to spot his fastball. The game conditions, 67 degrees, a cool day, but humidity at 67%. The wind out of the east-northeast at 15 miles an hour, so it is a factor today. And it is overcast, although right now it is sunny at the ballpark. The umpires for the game today: at home plate, Gary Cedarstrom; at first base, Field and Culbreth; at second base, Jim Wolf; and at third base, Dan Bellino. So this is a game that the Sox absolutely have to have. Minnesota's coming to town for a 3-game series starting tomorrow night. Then after the off day Thursday, it's going to be the Detroit Tigers. So this is a homestand where the Sox are going to make it happen. It's going to be during this homestand. Freddie finishing up his warm-up tosses. And there are the remaining schedules for all 3 teams. And as they throw the ball around the infield on this gorgeous day, it's time for me to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
Hi, it's Stone Pony. Thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the rubber match of this 3-game set. Royals come in at 60-88, hitting .258 as a club with a 4.71 team ERA. So Willie Bloomquist will lead it off. Bloomquist hitting at .269, 4 homers. He's driven in 29. 6'4", 260-pound right-hander. Freddie Garcia's first pitch up high.
I'm always surprised that Bloomquist doesn't bunt more because he has good speed.
There's the strike. Yeah, he's got better than average speed.
And because they're playing him back on the right side, a push bunt would be effective, but Willie doesn't seem to use that very much.
Maybe that's why. But I agree with you. He's going to give it a go. The throw? No. That's a hustle double. Starting off the ball game for Bloomquist.
A good heads-up piece of base running, because when he rounded first base and realized that Alex Rios was going away from the throw, he knew that the throw would be hard-pressed to be on the bag. And Bloomquist turns it on around first, forcing Rios to make a play. He's not able to get over the top of this one. And it's an ominous start to this game.
Mitch Meyer hitting at .247, 3 homers. He's driven in 26. Meyer 1 for 8 in this series. And the count 2-0. Yeah, but Bloomquist is in a perfect position to get to the point that the Royals, the opposition, other scouts from the National League say, hey, this guy's got good speed. He can bunt. He can get on. That's a big asset to have in your resume.
Especially when you can play just about every position on the field, and Bloomquist can do that. So, yes, he's with Kansas City, and no, they aren't in contention. They're not likely to be for maybe a year or so yet until they get their pitching squared away. But Bloomquist, for a contending team, is very valuable.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Tries to bunt it to move him over, fouls it back, and the count evens at 2. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gap, send 400 straight away center. Beautiful day, a little overcast, but still just a beautiful day here in the beautiful city. Two. Breaking ball, and that's hit foul. This is the 18th and final meeting of the year between these two clubs. First 17, Sox have won 9 of them. Kansas City has played like they have the last few years, played us tough. They finished up 9-9 with the Tigers. There goes the runner. Good throw. No. Off to the coach's side of third, so it'll be a stolen base. Number 21 for Blomquist.
And with Meyer and his inability to bunt, they decided to take it into their own hands. A good throw gets him. This was not a good throw.
So the Sox with the infield in, and the payoff pitch to Meyer. Billy Butler on deck. Meyer, 27-year-old former first-round pick for the Royals. And that's popped up. That's not going to get it done. 1 out. But here comes the third place hitter, Billy Butler. Comes in hitting an even 300 with 18 homers, 83 driven in. He's 3 for 6 with a homer and 3 RBIs in this series, but he has faced Freddie Garcia 4 times and he has 4 hits.
Well, this is also not a comfortable position to be in if you're an infielder, because you're playing in all the way around. And Billy Butler can hit the ball as hard on a line as just about anybody in this league.
And he can hit it to the right side just as hard. And if you missed that game last night, Peavy struck him out his first at bat. Here's the second at bat. Fastball up out over the plate. He did not miss it. Into that Miller Lite bullpen sports bar area. And the Bertucci boys. 1-1 to count to the 23-year-old. A chance to be a monster. Watch out.
And that's going to go as a wild pitch as the ball misses Butler. AJ misses the ball. And the first run of the ball game scores.
So it is 1-0 Kansas City. And the 2-1 pitch.
It was a 3-1 fastball last night that went out of the ballpark to Billy Butler. So Freddie's going to have to be careful here.
Full count with Mike Jacobs on deck. Further action around the American League in the game we'll be watching for you and trying to update you as quickly as possible. Tigers taking on the Twins in Minnesota. That's Robertson against Baker. Nate Robertson against Scott Baker. And the payoff pitch. That's low. So the walk with 1 out, and that'll bring up Jacobs, who comes in hitting at .231, 17 homers, 55 driven in. He was 0 for 4 last night, and he had the golden sombrero.
Well, last night, Jake Peavy, and then a succession of relievers just threw a lot of sliders low and in, down off the plate. And Jacobs swung at just about every one of them. And with the same result, he missed them.
There's the strike. And that breaking ball down and in. Too much so. Count evens at 1. 1-0 Royals. 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike here in the top of the first as you look at Jake Peavy. I'm Mark KCA.
Pretty nice night last night, going 5 innings, giving up just 3 hits, 3 runs, walked a couple, fanned 5.
Big hat, no cattle. I saw with Jake a few minutes ago and asked him, how's it feel? He said, a little stiff, but I feel good. He said, ready to go.
He'll probably get at least 2 more starts. I know he's looking forward to whatever he's got left.
They're going to get the lead man to return. In time, nice. 3-6-3 double play, and that'll retire the side. Willie Bloomquist doubles, steals third, and scores on a wild pitch. It is 1-0 bad guy.
Who's done a great job versus Kansas City. Then it's Konerko, Ramirez, Dye, Quentin, Getz. Alex Rios playing center field and hitting 9. Below defensive setup, another lineup behind Tejeda, left to right. It's Meyer, Anderson, and Bloomquist in the infield. Callaspo, Betancourt, Hernandez, and Butler. John Buck behind the plate. And the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher is Robinson Tejeda. This is just his 4th start. His ERA of fine 3.09. See, 34 hits and 58 in the 3rd innings. That's a remarkable number. But he's got great stuff. The only question is, can he get it over the plate? If the answer is no, he'll have a rough afternoon.
And if the answer is yes, like he has been, we'll have
a rough afternoon.
The rough one. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As there's first pitch strike to Scotty Pods. Comes in hitting at 302. 6 homers. He's driven in 45. Sox come in hitting at 260 as a club with a 4.17 ERA. And that's a nice way to start. Good speed aboard. So with Scotty Pods at first. Let's check out our Heineken picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and recruit. They went with Chris Getz. Lisa, Larry, and Steve, they're going to go with A.J. Pierzynski and Mike Mazza, Kenny Wiz, Pete Catazone, Tom Eichstack, Laura Arenas, Mary Weiss. All the good folks in the ticket office. We're all going to go with Scotty Pides, who's at first base. And that'll bring up Gordon Beckham. Gordon hitting at .269, 12 homers. He's driven in 54. Gordon 1 for 9 in the series, and he has faced Tejeda twice. He's 0 for 2. Those numbers that Tejeda has put on the board, pretty impressive. Makes a nice, quick, accurate throw. Didn't get a lot on it, and that's 2 down.
Good pivot at second base by Betancourt. This ball squibbed off the end of the bat, and Tejeda just flipped it there. Got it to Betancourt in time, who leaps over a sliding Scott Posednik, and they quickly turn a pair.
So that'll ring up AJ. AJ hitting at .308, 13 homers. He's driven in 47. AJ has had more success against Tejeda than anybody in our lineup. He's 4 for 9 with a homer.
Tejeda a different pitcher when you don't face him out of the bullpen. He's going to go an inning or two at a time. He can ride that fastball up 97, 98. He doesn't throw that way as a starter, as you would expect.
The count. And that's downstairs. Sox 41 and 33 here at home. And starting tomorrow, that big 3-game set with the Minnesota Twins. They'll have Minnesota for 3, an off day on Thursday, and then the Tigers come to town over the weekend. Checks it up, fouls it off.
Tejeda started with the Texas Rangers. Started with the Philadelphia Phillies, then went to the Rangers for a while. That's where he spent his longest time in the major leagues. Claimed off waivers by Kansas City last year and actually did a pretty decent job. 25 games, a .320 ERA, and he's picked it up this year with similar numbers.
Made a good pitch on him, got him, and that'll retire the side after 1. It is 1-0 Royals.
Individual game diamond suites, they're all available. Book a group outing or party area by calling 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
It'll be Callaspo, Buck, and Hernandez here in the top of the second inning as Kansas City leads at 1-0.
Let's get this little fellow out.
He's 3 for 9 with 2 RBIs in the series, hitting at 300, 10 homers, and 67 driven in.
He's been very pesty over the year against the Sox.
And that's a high pop-up. Callaspo comes in hitting at 344 in the 2 years he's been in this league against us.
Somehow it seemed like more, but that's pretty good.
Big John Buck, 6 for 19 lifetime against Freddie with a couple of homers. And back on August 18th against Freddie. Oof.
And Freddie knew it. He rolled a breaking ball up there, and Buck didn't miss it.
Just off the corner.
Last time Miguel Olivo started the game, walked and scored a run in his first at bat, then left the game with some stomach problems, and apparently they haven't left him quite yet.
1-2 pitch. Into right field. Piece of cake. So 2 down.
It's pretty nice of Gordon Beckham's mother to come up and drop off a couple of beautiful and well decorated boxes of cheese crisps for us, homemade
And tasty.
delicious.
Tasty. Very tasty. There's a strike to Luis Hernandez, hitting at 183. No homers. He's driven in 2. But after last night, I opened it very carefully. There's the strike.
Well, she was aware that her son didn't have one of the great nights of his career.
Don't get me started. Gordon said, he said, how can you laugh for an inning like that? He said, I'm glad I made your day, as that's a nice 1-2-3 inning. And after an inning and a half, 1-0 Kansas City.
Who wins that game in Minnesota against the Tigers? And today you just have to take care of business against a team that you should be able to beat. But Robinson Tejeda is going to have a big say in that.
And Minnesota, as we speak, leading the Tigers 1-0, bottom of the first inning, and still hitting.
On that ballpark, they've got a tremendous advantage over everyone, and if they do indeed sweep Detroit, that'll put them one game in back of the Tigers.
So here's Paulie. Konerko hitting at 285, 27 homers, 85 driven in. Paulie, the home run, a couple RBIs last night. And the 2-0 pitch. If you missed that game last night, this home run off the southpaw, Dustin Hughes.
First pitch changeup, and Paul takes it out of the yard. Hughes later left with some elbow difficulties.
2-1 to count to Konerko. A pretty good pitch to hit just underneath it, and fouls it straight back. And that's fouled straight back over our heads. And after the game, stay tuned for US Cellular White Sox postgame live. You'll see all the highlights, get Bill Melton's analysis, plus listening in on Ozzie Guillen's postgame remarks. Don't miss US Cellular White Sox postgame live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. And once again, the 2-2. Good check right there by Paulie, who was 0 for 8 lifetime off Robinson to Tejeda. Tejeda, he had a couple of big right-handers out there. Freddie, 6'4", 260. Robinson, 6'3", 250. That ball hammered into left field. As Meyer didn't read it very well, but broke back, recovered, and made the catch. It's a hang Wolfham.
Well, it's also called recovery speed because he misjudged that ball. Had enough speed to go back and make the play.
So here is Ramirez hitting at 280, 15 homers. He's driven in 67. Alexei 2 for 5 in the series.
Tejeda's got good movement on that fastball, especially when he throws it inside to right-hand hitters. He starts it on the inside corner, but by the time they can get to it, it's 3-4 inches inside, and there's going to be a lot of right-hand hitters that foul the ball off their foot or instep today.
There's a strike. 0-2 the count. Alexei 2 for 6 lifetime off the hard throwing right-hander. Big gap out there in left center. No chance. Overmatched in that at bat. So 2 down. And here's Jermaine. Jermaine comes in hitting it 251 with 25 homers and 74 driven in. And the count 2-0. Right here, 23. That ball hit high and deep into right center field. Bloomquist making the call, has the ball, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Tejeda.
Answers are confidential. Visit WhiteSox.com/survey. You must complete the survey before today's game ends.
0-1 the count to Unieski. Betancourt hitting at .239, 5 homers, 41 driven in. And the count 0-2. First pitch, strike, fastball. Second pitch, strike, curveball. Betancourt, 1 for 8 in the series. Why nothing? Kansas City.
There's a very good chance Betancourt's not going to walk. He's only done that 21 times.
Betty now being called off by Beckham. So 1 out to the center fielder. Josh Anderson comes in hitting at .238 with a homer, and he's driven in 23.
Detroit had an abundance of outfielders, so they sold Anderson to the Royals.
It's going to be a tough play, but he makes it, and Paulie can't handle it. Good play by Getz right there.
They give him a single. If Paul catches this one, he's out. That's a base hit. Christmas does come early here at U.S. Cellular Field.
And here's Bloomquist. He had a hustle double leading off the ball game. Ball hit hard into left center field. He never stopped. He had 2 on his mind all the way, got in, then he stole third, and he scored on a wild pitch. There goes the runner. Anderson picks up his 20th stolen base.
Well, the Royals realize that Freddie is slow to home plate. He has a long, slow delivery. and they're able to take advantage of it. You see the jump that Anderson gets, and it's a good one.
Lundqvist lays off of it and the count 2-0. Ready. Quickly accepts the sign from Pierzynski and backs it down. And other action around the American League will show Angels taking on Texas down at Arlington. Boston at Baltimore. There's the strike. Tampa Bay hosting the Blue Jays. That's Halladay against Price. Cleveland at Oakland. Carmona against Evelyn. And the Yankees at Seattle. Jabba Chamberlain against Ian Snell. Over in the National League tonight, Cubs taking on the Cardinals in St. Louis. Cincinnati at home against Florida. Washington at New York against the Metropolitans. Phillies and the Braves will lock a horn down in Georgia. San Diego at Pittsburgh. Houston and Milwaukee. Arizona hosting the Rockies. And there's the strike. Breaking ball. And the last game in the National League, the Dodgers at home against the Giants. One out. The 2-2. Gets way back away from the bag at second. Alexei. Now takes a couple of steps over towards and behind Anderson.
But he got away with one there because that was another of those rolling breaking balls that fortunately hung too far high in itself. That's the location of this one.
There he goes. And that ball hit into short left field. Anderson picks it up, gets back in, 2 down.
Anderson did a nice job because he was just 5 steps away from third base. He sees and hears the contact, then picks it up. Then the hustles back to the bag so he doesn't get doubled off.
So here's Mitch Meyer, the left fielder. He popped up to Ramirez. Breaking ball strike. The Detroit Minnesota game in the second inning. Bottom of the second, with the Twinkies leading the Tigers 1-0. High and wide. And that's trouble. Yeah. It is 2-0.
So both stolen bases have come back to haunt the Sox. Anderson with a single and a stolen base. Bloomquist with a double and a stolen base in the first inning. And they both have scored. Meyer drives in his 27th run of the year. This is another rolling breaking ball as Pretty stuff today. Isn't quite as sharp as we've seen in the last 5 starts.
So here's Butler. He walked back in the first inning. And Meyer, who has good speed. He's 7 for 9 in stolen bases. Well, that's just good clutch hitting. And that's into right field. But the bunt single by Anderson, the stolen base, jumps up and bites us. It is 2-0 Kansas City. And former Bears Jim Miller, Jerry Azuma, and Dan Jiggets break down all the action, plus Kip Lewis brings you interviews with the players. US Cellular Bears postgame live tonight immediately after the game, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Bottom third of our order, Quentin gets in Rios to face Robinson. Tejeda. That's up high. Carlos comes in hitting at 235 with 17 long ones and 45 knocked in. One of those homers coming last night, and it was a grand slam. If you missed that, the score was 3-3. Sox packed the Sox, 5th inning, and here it was. Didn't take long.
No, and Yabuda had a pretty tough night last night, even though it was a brief one.
There's a changeup, grabs the strike, and the count 2-1. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That one hit all 3 decks.
Yeah. Upper, LG Skyline Club, and lower.
And down to the lower. Is a happy fan.
Minnesota threatening for more. They have a couple of guys on, 2 out, bottom of the second. That ball hit high. And he makes the catch.
What tremendous play by Anderson. He got back to the wall and leaped up, and that ball would have been out of the ballpark. Really good timing here. Very close to the Dwayne Wise catch, only not quite as dramatic or as spectacular a catch, but still a good, strong effort. As he brings it back, loses the glasses, and robs Carlos Quentin of a home run.
Well, the biggest part about that catch was that he didn't get stuck in on the fence. He knew where the fence was. He stayed away from it, so when he jumped, he didn't get stuck with that shoulder.
It's like the Cubs game yesterday with an infielder, Scales, going back to the wall. Hit the wall at the same time that the ball hit the glove, and it bounced over the wall and would have stayed in the park.
As you said, an infielder.
Well, took Bobby Scales a long time to get to the major leagues, so he will play anywhere they put him.
Chris Getz with a 1-1 count. And that's popped up softly.
If you missed some of the action, go to On Demand from Comcast. You'll have access to Comcast Sportsnet White Sox games ready to watch on your schedule. To find out more, call 1-888-4BEST-TV.
Well, you see so many outfielders go back, and all of a sudden they get set. That's going to be close to whether or not they can bring it back in. They jump and all. They hit the wall with their shoulder and stick.
That's it. 2-inch vertical leap.
I've been there and done that. In fact, I did it the first time I played left field in Fenway Park. It was going to be a wall scraper. And I could have caught the ball, but as I jumped, I hit that scoreboard. And I'm telling you, you're right. It was about 2 inches that I got off the ground.
The carom off the top of the wall is fine. If it hits off the scoreboard, you never know where the ball is going to go.
And Rios pops it up. So this is going to be another 1-2-3 inning for Robinson Tejeda. Good catch by Josh Anderson, saves a run. Two nothing bad guys here in the fourth inning. That ball, nice pick right there by Paulie. Saves a double off the bat of Jacobs. One pitch, one out.
Mike Jacobs finally hits one right on the button. And Paul is there to make the play. And good solid toss, gets rid of it quickly. Freddie over in plenty of time. That would have easily been a two-base hit.
I've seen some guys who were better first basemen than Paulie over 50 years, but I'll tell you what, I've never seen a first baseman who made better feeds to pitchers. Never. He's as good as I've ever seen.
Well, it's one of the reasons why he started as a third baseman. He's got a strong arm. Also makes good solid throws to second base when he has the opportunity on a pickoff or gets a hard bunt.
Very, very accurate. And that's a field play, those feeds to the pitchers. You got to lead them like a quarterback leads his wide receiver going across the middle.
And you want to get it to him early because you want him to be able to right his footwork.
That's where the timing is. That's the whole key.
Watch it again, because if you get it to the pitcher early, then he gets to right his footwork and touch the inside of the bag with his right foot. If you do that, you never cross over into the runner's path, and you'll never get run down.
And it's still amazing to me how many first basemen in the major leagues are timing their feed to the pitcher on his arrival to the bag. It absolutely mystifies me.
Well, there's no margin for error then.
There's a bullet by Buck.
Let's go to our Aflac trivia question as that rattles by. When was the last time the Royals finished the season above 500? I'll give you one hint. It was after the Pittsburgh Pirates finished above 500.
Here's Hernandez. He grounded out to Paulie. Kansas City is a terrific baseball town. They have tremendous fans. And when George Brett was there, it was an event. There was excitement to go into that ballpark. As there goes Buck. Throw is off to the third base side. So another stolen base.
That's 3 of them today.
Buck picks up his first of the season.
Yeah, they ought to give him the base. He is now 1 for 1. And that throw was on the extreme third base side of the bag, and there's not many outs over there. Last stolen base over 4 years ago.
He gone. So that stolen base, unlike the first 2, did not hurt us, but they lead it 2-0.
As the White Sox take on the Twins tomorrow through Wednesday. And then the Tigers come in the 25th through the 27th. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit WhiteSox.com. And after today, only 6 remain at home.
It is 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We have 1 hit, and that's by the man standing in at the plate right now, Scotty Pies. Started off the bottom of the 1st and then was erased on a double play. So Robinson Tejeda has faced the minimum through 3. Gap out there in right center. Let's get something started right here, Scotty Pie. Starts him off. Changeup.
It's one of the things that Tejeda didn't throw out of the bullpen. It was fastball, hard slider. Now as a starting pitcher, he's incorporating that changeup, and he's thrown it 2-0, and he's thrown it on the first pitch, which is most unusual.
Well, in years past, if you threw a changeup on the first pitch and the guy hit it for a base hit, when you got back to the dugout, that manager was going to absolutely eat you alive. Draws it back.
That's what Paul hit out of the ballpark last night against Dusty Hughes, was a first pitch changeup. Now, granted, it was up, but when you're not changing up off anything, especially with Hughes. Now, Tejeda has a big fastball. Hughes, not such a big fastball.
Well, that theory about you don't start a hitter off with a changeup because you're not changing off anything, that was gone about 25 years ago. That went out the window. You had a new set of managers, young managers coming in, and they didn't adhere to a lot of the things that their managers, when they were playing, philosophized on. And there's another base hit by Pipes. So Mike Mazza and Kenny Wiz, Pete Catazone, all the people in the ticket office. They've picked a click. It's 2 for 2.
Let's take a look at the Afrock trivia question again, and then we'll give you the answer. When was the last time the Royals finished the season above 500? And the answer is 2003. 4 games over, 83 and 79.
Here's Gordon. Gordon hit into that 1-6-3 double play as Scotty Potts takes off. And there's a row not nearly in time. So he picks up his 28th stolen base.
Gets a tremendous jump. And Gordon protecting him with a swing. No contact. This is just a straight steal because he never looked back.
Oh, and 1 to count to Beckham. Ball gets away, so Pod's in the third.
5th wild pitch of the year for Tejeda, so now Gordon doesn't have to worry about hitting the ball to the right side.
You know, getting back to those Kansas City teams when Brett was there. In all my years in baseball, the greatest leader I have ever seen on the field was George Brett. The second best is Derek Jeter. He used to go in there, and I'll tell you what, Stone Pony, as you know, because you were just after that decade, so to speak. As there's a little number off the bat, and that's out number 1.
Well, we faced them at their zenith. 1977 was one of the great years.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you not only had George Brett, who was just a great player, but the supporting cast.
Oh yeah. The complement of the club was terrific. That was the toughest club in the American League to beat them at their place. The 2 toughest teams with the best record on home in baseball were Kansas City and Houston.
Well, Woody Herzog put that team together, and it was a speed ballpark. It was even bigger dimensions than it is now. And he just made sure that nobody had more speed than they had.
A.J. struck out his first trip.
That was the Amos Otis, Hal McRae years. And Frank White was there. And they just ran you out of the ballpark.
Freddie Patek. That was the best quote best base running team that I've ever seen. Every hitter that left the box when they got a hit was looking to go to second. Not Brett, not Hal McRae, every one of them. Big pitch right here, the 1-1. Watch out. A.J. a little tardy right there on that 95-mile-an-hour heater, so Tejeda reaching back, getting another 4 or 5 inches on it.
The last time he struck him out on a good hard slider low and in. That time the fastball was down the middle, a little higher than A.J. would have liked, and consequently he was late.
Well, we'll see what Buck's going to do here.
A.J. just has to shorten it up because the ground ball to the right side scores a run.
Tejeda just reached back, put a little giddy up on that one, and A.J. just underneath it. Wants a changeup. And there's a base hit. I like that call from our standpoint. Speed the hitter's bat up. Clyde scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Well, it's not a pitch that AJ is going to miss. Worst case scenario, he grounds it to the right side. And AJ drives in run number 48. He's able to wait back as well as anybody on this team. It's just not a real good pitch selection in that situation.
When you're throwing the fastballs and the guy can't catch up to it, all of a sudden, why are you going to speed his bat up, which I'm glad they did. Especially with that particular hitter. As here is Konerko. Paulie lined out hard to left field. 2-4-0 for Kansas City. 1-3-0 for our Sox. Short lead by Pierzynski. And good eye by Paulie. 2-0.
As many times as Tejeda has fallen behind 2-0, he's very fortunate to have only given up one run. This is one of those days, although he's been effective, his control hasn't been great.
Well, his superior stuff has
got him through.
Yes. There are only a few guys who can pitch 2-0-3-1, get away with it. And Tejeda, when he's right, is one of those guys. Got good movement on the fastball. Very hard slider. Can get over 95. And the 3-0 count. Three and one with Ramirez on deck. And that's ball 4.
So now Tejeda digging himself in a hole. With Alexei looking for a first ball fastball with a right-hander scuffling with his control.
Yeah, big John Buck is, as I mentioned. Tejeda is 6'3", 250 pounds. And Buck just dwarfs him. Ramirez got overmatched his first at bat. Struck out. Now it's payback time, Alexei. One out, 2 on. Starts him off with a changeup. That one outside at 93, and that evens the count at 1. Looks like Buck's trying to get Alexei to a 2-strike count and then come with the slider. See if he stays there as that's popped up softly. Another changeup. And Butler just didn't get there.
No, that's a break because that ball was up long enough where Butler should have made the play. So we'll see if it comes back to haunt Tejeda. As Butler, who's played a fairly decent first base, When you consider that a lot of people thought he was ticketed for a designated hitter, he just flat out misses this one.
So now the count is 1-2, and there is a definite good chance that you'll see the slider down in the plate.
There's also a good chance you can throw it in the dirt. They give him E3 on that.
So a nice block by Buck. Any slider that comes up there on a 1-2 count has got probably a 40-60 chance of being in the dirt.
Unfortunately, that one was not enticing enough for Alexei to swing at it.
And that ball is ripped hard. There's where that's the rich, poor syndrome gets right there.
Well, they changed it to no play.
When you get a guy with good stuff, you get a good pitch to hit. Sometimes you're just cheating so hard up there. You get out so far in front of it. If you hit it hard, it's going a rope hook foul. And that's up high, so Caja throwing a lot of pitches here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Huge gap out there in left center. And that's a can of corn into left. So 2 down. And that'll bring up Jermaine. Jermaine went out fairly deep to right center field. Lundqvist making the catch.
John Buck going out a whole lot to the mound.
He is a go out a whole lot to the mound guy.
Yeah.
We had a game earlier in Kansas City. It was a day game, and he must have made minimal 8 to 10 trips out there. As that's fouled back into one of the super suites. And that's outside. Was there a particular catcher that you ever threw to that came to the mound too often?
Not too much. I would say usually when they would come to the mound, it would be tell me a particular pitch wasn't working as well as I might have thought. Sometimes they were emphatic about a call that I didn't want to throw. But more times than not, Hawk, if you're in a pretty good rhythm, the smart catchers won't come to the mound at all. If you're having some trouble with your control and the rhythm isn't there, or you're speeding up too much or slowing down too much, catcher can be your best ally. Go out there and tell you exactly what's going on.
Steve, the first responsibility of a catcher is to get a pitcher in his rhythm and keep him there. Had a good pitch to hit, couldn't do anything with it. That's why Thurman Munson was such a great catcher. He would get his pitchers into a rhythm and keep it there. In the front. Key was finding out what his rhythm was that particular day.
But Thurman also got the ball back to the pitcher very quickly.
Well, that's keeping him in his rhythm. 1-1 tie. Bottom of the 4th inning.
He keeps trying to throw that fastball by Jermaine on the outside corner. Jermaine able to spoil it. This one not in a good spot as far as the pitcher is concerned. Very hittable for Jermaine, but he falls it straight back.
So once again, the 1-2 pitch. Yeah, I've seen in the past Munson take a foul tip off the shoulder, and instead of grabbing it or getting up, walking it off, he'd tell the umpire, "Give me another one," and get it right back to the pitcher, and that's part of it.
A lot of pitches this inning for Robinson Tejeda. This is going to be his 65th of the game.
And there's that changeup. Well, Jermaine's had 3 good pitches to hit in this sequence and fouled them all off. We got to get this big man rolling. We can get him hot for last 13 games. That would be nice. Jermaine 2 for 3 yesterday with a couple of RBIs. Two on, 2 out, the 2-2 pitch. Good eye.
Has to get him with the slider, but he stays under it, and this one stays up and out of the zone.
And the payoff. And that'll load him up.
That arm angle for Tejeda is getting lower and lower. It's usually the sign of some fatigue. Bear in mind, he spent the whole year in the bullpen. Before this, his 4th start of the year, and now Bob McClure comes out. He wants a word with him. He can tell he's dropping his arm angle, and everything gets very flat when you do that.
That arm can get heavy at times.
Well, especially if you're not used to the demands of the every 5th day starting rotation, and he's new to it this year. It's a little difficult as you move start after start after start.
Well, the biggest thing is, too, taking him from the bullpen, making him a starter mid-season, not even mid-season, 3/4 of the way through the season. So here's Carlos. Carlos hit one deep into left center field. But Josh Anderson went up over the fence, timed it perfectly, brought it back in the ballpark. Don't help him now. He's in trouble, not you.
We're with the bases loaded. Pretty impressive for Carlos Quinn.
And that grand slam yesterday. And trying for another one right there. 1-1 to count.
You can see that things have slowed down a bit for Robinson Tejeda. His control has deserted him.
He could not check it up. So now, after chasing that one, he put himself in a hole. 1-2. Oh, what a difference of 1-2 and 2-1.
That's where you can throw a wipeout slider and throw it out of the zone, as opposed to 2-1. You throw the same slider and the guy just looks at it and you're 3-1.
Guys, to heat him up, that fastball at 96. First time I've seen him at 96 today. 95 a couple of times. Into center field. That's can of corn. So the Sox score 1, strand 3, and it's still a 2-1 Kansas City lead.
Brought to you by Toshiba.
As you check out our Comcast Sportsnet tail of the tape, top of the 5th inning, a 2-1 Royal lead. Freddie Garcia will face Betancourt, Anderson, and then back to the top of the order with Willie Bloomquist.
Well, we'll just have to hope that Freddie is indeed loosened up, because he spent a long time on the bench with that bottom of the 4th inning.
There's a pop-up left side. Stay in here. Is coming back? Yes.
White Sox fans, it's never easier to take in a ball game. See for yourself. Go to StubHub.com, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago White Sox.
So 1 pitch, 1 out, and that'll bring up Anderson. Anderson had a nice bunt. Looked like he was going to beat it out easily. All of a sudden gets out of nowhere, comes in, picks it up, scoops it, underhands it to Paul at first base, who couldn't handle it. He was close to him, had a lot on it. Got a base hit, stole second, and scored on the base hit by Meyer. Beckham's got him. Nice play.
Gordon was in close at third, and he was also well off the line. So when this squibber got by Freddie, Gordon was able to make the play easily, and he had him by plenty.
So here's Bloomquist. He manufactured a run himself after he got a hustle double in the 1st inning. He stole third, scored on a wild pitch. Takes first pitch strike. And Minnesota has just taken a 2-1 lead over the Tigers. Base hit by Nick Punto. Knocks in Delman Young. They're coming with 2 out. Got a bad. Freddie threw a bad breaking ball and he got hammered right back through the middle.
Freddie's had a decent fastball, but not a real good breaking ball today. He's hung a number of them, gotten away with a few of them, but he didn't get away with this one. This one just kind of stayed up in the zone, and Bloomquist now 2 for 3, and he'll be trying to steal second base.
Here's Mitch Meyer, 1 for 2 and an RBI. There's the strike. Nothing in 1 to count. For the 27-year-old outfielder. Bloomquist pretty good lead. Steal back in the first inning was his 21st in 26 attempts. Pitch out, nothing else. Will he do it? Can he do it? Twice in a row.
Well, this is the time to run, and if Ozzie decides that he wants to use back-to-back pitch outs, they'll probably get him if it's a good pitch out.
He does not go, and that's 2-1. That would have been a good pitch to run on right there. There he goes. And absolutely. Yeah! Perfect peg on that one. Bloomquist is gone halfway home. We trail it 2-1. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Chris Getz, Alex Rios, and Scotty Potts.
This inning would look real good if Chris could get on. He's had a great year running the bases.
One and one. Gap out there in left center. And a good eye. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the 5th in Minneapolis. 2-1 Twinkies over the Tigers. And the count 3-1 don't help him out.
Davis started out with pretty good control, but his control the last 2 innings, despite the fact that he's only given up 1 run, has been spotty at best. He walked 2 last inning and got out of it.
Well, just breezed through the first 3. And there's a strike. All 4 base hit right here, Chris.
A pretty good job of staying alive.
And the payoff. And another foul. Oh, 3 or 4 more really tick him off. That boy, work him out.
It's going to be the 82nd pitch he's delivered, and he's got nobody out in the 5th, so about ready to make his 10th pitch to Chris Getz, who's really battling.
One out.
Visit the official online shop of the White Sox at whitesox.com. Browse the largest online selections of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the whitesox.com shop.
Alex Rios popped up to short. Takes it outside. One thing about it, this has been nice to see in one respect. It's been a good umpired series. And that's what you like to see, especially when September rolls around. We saw a couple of young umpires on that road trip that didn't have particularly good games.
Dan Bellino, a young umpire, had a very good game behind the plate last night.
Yes, he did. He probably, of all the young umpires that we've seen him twice behind the plate now, and he appears to be right at the top of the list. There's the strike. At least behind the plate. It's amazing how umpires like players. They have strong points and they have weak points. That's fouled back. Pretty good hack right there by Alex. You get some umpires who are very good behind the plate and not so good on the bases. You get some who are very good on the bases and not so very good behind the plate. Just got a piece of it.
That one sounded like it got a piece of the mask of Gary Cederstrom. It did. That will shake away the cobwebs if there are any.
High in the right field, Bloomquist. Alex now 0 for 6 lifetime off Robinson Tejeda. So with 2 out, we go back to the top of the order. Scotty Pides, who's been the offensive force, 2 for 2 with a stolen base, and he scored our only run. Mike Mazza, Kenny Wiz, Tom Eichstadt, Pete Catazone, Laura Arenas, Mary Weiss, all the good folks in the Joe, and all the good folks in the ticket office. They're picked to click today. Starts him off, change up, grabs the strike. And very quickly the count 0-2.
.90 pitch mark for Tejeda.
Boy, for a guy making only his 4th start, that's a lot of pitches. That's a lot of pitches.
That's one of the things that he has done when they've tried to start him during the course of his career. He piles up the pitches and he can't go much by the 6th.
That's up high. I can understand him certainly trying to make him a starter, but doing it, telling him in the off season so he can start getting ready for it and then work through it in spring training. But coming out of the bullpen 3/4 of the way through the season, 90 pitches, that is taxing. And that's into left field. Myers got the bead, the ball, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning. And we are into the 6th, trailing 2-1. Over Minnesota on guess what? A 2-run single by who?
Placido Polanco. And with first base open, they elected to pitch to him. It's never really a good thing.
He is a tough little cookie.
Well, you're not going to strike him out, and he's going to get the good part of the bat on the ball most of the time.
I've never seen a right-handed hitter that could hit a pitch 1.5 feet outside on a consistent basis, hard to right field like he does. Never. I've never seen it. I've seen a couple of left-handers, as Mickey Tettleton could hit a low fastball 1.5 feet outside and kill it up into the right field upper deck. That was his wheelhouse, about 1 foot outside. Checks it up. Takes the ball. And the 2-1. And Paul Konerko and Sox face their Central Division rivals, Joe Mauer and the Minnesota Twins, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live. That's tomorrow night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Here's Billy Butler. He has walked in, gone out to right. First pitch strike. 2-5-0 for them, 1-3-0 for us. Lexi. Two down. That'll bring up Mike Jacobs, who's 0 for 2 today, 0 for 6 in the series.
See, Freddie is cruising right along, as opposed to Robinson Tejeda, who has the lead, but he also has 22 more pitches. Freddie's thrown 2/3 of an inning more.
Jacobs, a dangerous guy up there at the plate.
He's very Russell Branyan-esque. He'll strike out a lot. If you throw it in his spot, he can hit it forever.
That home run he hit in Kansas City was majestic. The 1-1 pitch, outfield straight up, spread out. It did not go. Yes, he did. And the count 2-2. Just tuning in, Kansas City 1 in the first, 1 in the third, Sox 1 in the fourth. In the fourth, we had 2 hits, 2 walks, and only scored 1 time. Getzel sucked that up. Nice inning for Freddie. So another quality outing for Freddie Garcia. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, trailing 2-1.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Bottom of the sixth, 2-5-0 for them, 1-3-0 for us. It'll be Beckham, it'll be Brzezinski, and it'll be Konerko to face Robinson, Tejeda. This throws a get-me-over fastball at 91 for a strike. Gordon 0 for 2 this afternoon. Twice he has gone back to Tejeda. And that's foul straight back just below us. Guy sitting down below us. Didn't turn around and look. The ball hit as he strikes him out. 1 down.
Hit him in the back of the head.
Hit him right in the top of it.
That'll happen.
He didn't even. He just moved his hands over his head. He never still looked around. He's all right.
So Detroit is now taking a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, Mag's got a base hit back through the middle, and they still have 2 on, hitting in the top of the 5th. And here's AJ. Got a changeup. Tejeda last time got a single, knocked in Scotty Pides. And that is a rope hook foul. 3T. Angels leading Texas 10-5. Got in Arlington. As the count moves to 1-2. Tampa Bay leading Toronto 2-1, bottom of the 7th in St. Pete. Boston leading Baltimore 8-3, top of the 7th at Oriole Park.
The Angels will put a big crimp in the plans of those Texas Rangers if they beat them today.
That ball into left field. Meyer coming in, playing him perfectly. 2 down. I was reading our clips, news clips prior to the game, and I saw where Nolan Ryan might be leaving the Rangers.
Well, what he did say was that because he doesn't have a written contract, but he has a handshake with Tom Hicks, if the new owners didn't want him, he would leave. But I couldn't see the new owners not wanting him.
Me either. I mean, me either.
I think that his philosophy and the fact that he was the guy that pushed to get Mike Maddox there, I would say that would be enough to keep him around. Plus, he's kind of a beloved character down there. It'd be a big mistake to let him go.
I think it would be a monumental mistake to let him go. 0-1 the count to Paulie, who was lying very hard to left, and he has walked. Good rip underneath it, and the count 0-2.
I think out of all the things that Nolan probably in the normal course of thing has to worry about, leaving that organization isn't one of them. For what he's done there, for the change of culture that he's brought, the entire different pitching orientation that they've had before he got there and what they have now, he's going to be there for a while.
Well, it's really the first time since they've come in, really, not the first time, second time, that they have had somebody at the helm who really understood pitching and pitching down there. There's a difference in pitching in the Midwest or out on the West Coast or the East Coast than pitching in Texas.
There's no question. And he also decided to do something that I certainly enjoy, and I know you do. He said, we're not going to talk about pitch counts anymore. We're not going to tell the pitcher what the count is, and we're not going to use pitch counts in the major leagues. When he's tired, we'll take him out. If he's not tired, we'll keep him in.
Ayevit. As he gets Paulie, 1-2-3 inning. Bart Tejeda, 5th strikeout, and he leads it 2-1.
Through Wednesday, when the White Sox take on the Twins. Members of the Chicago White Sox charity-sponsored Intercity Youth Baseball League will be on site at gates 2, 3, 4, and 5, beginning at 5 p.m. prior to each game to collect new and used equipment. For more information, call 312-674-5369 or visit whitesox.com.
First pitch to Cayaspo, taken for a strike. So Bob McClure, pitching coach, talking to Tejeda, telling me what a good job he did, and indeed he did. Oh, just 1 run on just 3 hits through 6 innings as they lead it 2-1. Cayaspo is 0 for 2.
This has been a very well pitched game on both sides of the equation. Freddie Garcia has thrown the ball very well. Just a couple of stolen bases after base hits has separated him from the lead. As Roman Colon starts throwing in the pen.
Yes, he did. He gone. 1 out.
Field to Dan Bellino, who said yes, indeed, he did swing and looked like he went through. And I think you'll see it from the side. Head of that bat goes right over the front of the plate. Good stop by AJ as he knocked it down and puts on the tag.
Well, here's a big, strong catcher, John Buck. He's 1 for 2. Also has a stolen base. Can't get it upstairs. And the count 0-2. Buck, 29 years old now.
At one point, he was the prize prospect of the Houston Astros.
Just off the corner. That's really easy to see why. He still has a tremendous upside, but is he going to get a chance? Because Miguel Olivo's he gone. Miguel Olivo is coming into his zone now.
Yeah, Miguel Olivo has taken over pretty much as the everyday catcher. But for the stomach cramps, he'd be in there today.
Yeah. Well, Miguel is much quicker to second base than Buck is.
Well, he's much quicker than most catchers in baseball.
You're not kidding. Well, his arm is second to none. I mean, he's got as good arm as there is, and plus he's got better footwork, quicker release. and he can hit it as far as anybody. That's into left field. Carlos. Nice inning for Freddie. 1, 2, 3. He's retired 8 in a row, but we trail it 2-1.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Major
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Entertainment, family parties, or a night out with friends. Provide first-class service while enjoying White Sox baseball. To reserve a Diamond Suite for a Sox game, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details. And Roman Colon comes into the game, so a good job by Robinson Tejeda. And Colon comes on for the 39th time, ERA just under 5. You can see he doesn't strike out a whole lot of people, nor walk too many, and left-handers have hurt him.
Alexei takes a breaking ball strike from the tall, lanky right-hander. We got to go some, boys. Put some points on the board. Another breaking ball and another strike.
For Tejeda, 6 innings, a run on 3 hits. He walked 2 and fanned 5. Very impressive outing, and he leaves with the lead.
Colon 6'6", 240 pounds. Not so lanky.
Not that lanky.
30 years old, out of Monte Cristi in the Dominican Republic. Good check. So Tejeda out of Bani in the Dominican. And now they say he did.
trail to Fieldon Culbreth, and he said he did go around, and
He did.
he did. Good call.
So here's Jermaine. Jermaine is 0 for 1. He's gone out to right, and he has walked. Watch out, and he has been hit. Now, you know, he wasn't trying to hit him, but I'm just saying, whether he was or wasn't, because he wasn't, we still owe Kansas City a lot. I mean, we owe them a few. And this is the last game of the year. So
it is.
We didn't get them back. Did not repay the debt. And these have not been, our guys who have been hit have not been just nicked. They have been drilled. So here is Quentin.
I think this one hurt. It's only the second man Cologne has hit this year.
Well, he wasn't trying to hit him in the ball game.
No, and not with a curveball either.
But again, enough is enough. 1-0 pitch. Carlos has gone out twice to center field. Once very deep that Josh Anderson went up and over the fence to bring it back in, saving a run. And the count 3-0. There's one. To hang with him.
Carlos could hardly have hit that one any harder. So he almost hit one out of the ballpark in the third. This time a line drive rocket to third base. Hit the ball hard 2 out of 3 times with 0 for 3 to show for it. He wants to take a big hunk out of that bat.
Well, he's not going to hit him over with his hand.
No, it's better to do that. You can always get more teeth.
Get those Lumineers.
Get some of those.
So here's Getz. Chris 0 for 2. Popped up to third and struck out. Huge gap out there in right center.
Show you the defense, and there is that gap in right center.
And there's a shot base hit right through the middle. So Jermaine will pull up at second. And they'll leave it up to Alex Rios with runners on first and second, 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-5-0 for Kansas City, 1-4-0 for our Sox. Takes it up. He did not go. One time, Alex. Big gap in left center. Real big. Started to go, checked it up on the breaking pitch, and a count 2-0.
And Buck goes out to the mound to talk with Cologne. One of the reasons why at 30 years old he's never really stuck for any length of time in the major leagues has been control. Hit shots with Atlanta, dating back to 04 and 05, and then with Detroit, 05 and 06, hearts of years.
Alex has the catbird seat. Two and one.
There's the career numbers: more hits in innings pitched and less than a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. It'll cost you some runs.
Checks it up, and the count's going to be 2-2 for whatever reason.
That ball came in up and out of the zone. It wasn't a swing.
So 2 on, 2 out, the 2-2 pitch. High into short left field. They collide, but Betancourt hangs on, makes the catch,
And he's hurt.
and that'll retire the side. Got an elbow right in the face. Hi, Chuck Meister, thank you very much. Unieski Betancourt, who made that nice catch, flips one out into right field. One pitch, one out. Here in the top of the 8th inning.
Wait, how often do you see a guy almost get knocked out down the third base line and lead off the next inning?
Every day.
Seems like it happens all the time. He took a good elbow to the side of the head and still hung on to the baseball.
Here's Josh Anderson. Had a bunt single, stolen base, and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. But he has a run-saving catch, robbing Carlos Quentin of a home run.
Here's Freddie into the 8th inning with 1 out, and he's kept it under 90 pitches to this point. That's pretty impressive. Very economical. And the bullpen up and going. Dotel and Williams.
Attaboy, Freddie. Nice play.
Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Night at U.S. Cellular Field Friday, September 25th as the White Sox take on the Tigers at 7-11. You can enjoy Latin music, dancing, and special activities for the kids, along with a specially priced ticket plan. To order tickets, visit whitesox.com/heritage.
Freddie landing on that left knee. He wants this.
Good quick play to his left. And then a solid throw.
Well, Freddie is a good athlete. He's a pretty, I would say he's probably just a little above average fielding pitcher. Swings the bat well. And I'll tell you, from what we've seen from Freddie Garcia, it certainly appears he's going to be the 5th starter going into the 2010 season.
Well, this is his 6th very solid start in a row.
Well, his first one was shaky. This one has been like the rest of them.
And it's not like he pitched against some of the lower division teams. He had a couple of games against Boston and one against the Yankees, threw well in all 3 of those.
Yes. Lundqvist is 2 for 3 with a run scored. 1-2 the count. To the all-purpose player. Good player. What his role is. And that's into right field. Jermaine's coming on. He's there, makes the catch, and that'll do it. 9 in a row retired by Freddie Garcia, but he trails it 2-1. We gotta do something.
Well, this one is primed and ready for the big finish because Ramon Colon doesn't have great stuff. He scuffled through last inning but got out of it. Now he's got to face the top of the order. So a big finish is in order.
Scotty Pides, 2 for 3, a stolen base and our run scored. Chopper, and that's foul. So 1-1 to count to Scotty Pods. Big gap out there in right center. And a big pitch here, the 1-1. And it goes to Cologne.
Joakim Soria listening up in the bullpen, and that's their closer, who is very effective. Just as soon not see him in there.
Lead man gone. One out, and that'll bring up Gordon. He's 0 for 3. He's due. 1 for 12 in the series.
Matt Thornton throwing in the pen for the Sox. So Thornton will most likely come in the 9th inning with Meyer, Butler, and Jacobs due up.
Want to know the count to Beckham. Nasty pitch right there.
You're not going to hit that one unless you're just looking away, striding straight to the outside part of the plate. But other than that, you take that with no stress.
Can I check it up? Then the count 1-2.
That one was a good breaking ball. That was quick breaking, late. Gordon couldn't pick it up.
Bit of a gap out there in left center. And that is fouled back into the upper tank. Big 6'6" right-hander out of the Dominican Republic, and the 2-2 pitch. Good eye. Ball 4, base hit right here, Gordon.
We'll fight that one off.
That's a pretty good pitch by Cologne. He did indeed. And that's ball 4. Good at bat for Beckham. Pretty good speed aboard. With one down, that'll bring up AJ, who is 1 for 3. Need a little magic here, 12. A little light.
Yeah, he's Lisa in Texas picked to play just because of this moment right here.
Big gap in right center. Gordon 7 for 11 in stolen bases. And there's a base hit. Gordon's going to pull up as Bloomquist gets to it.
Puts a tying and go-ahead run on. Trey Hillman is on the phone to the bullpen, and he's contemplating the idea of using Soria for at this point what would be a 5-out save. And I think that's what he's going to do.
So the walk to Beckham, the single by Pierzynski. Cologne will depart, and we'll be back.
And it's Joakim Soria up for the 43rd time. 25 out of 28 in saves, an ERA 2.5. And he had a bad shoulder this year. He was on the shelf for a while. When he's healthy, he's just about as good as anybody. And he's not used to 5-out saves. So Cologne departs, and here's the closer.
Paulie is 0 for 2 with a walk. Fans with that Paulie. Looking for it, got it, went right through it. 0-1 the count to Konerko. Soria, 25 years old, out of Mexico. Paulie made a good pass at that breaking ball, trying to take it in the right field, just underneath.
I talked with Bob McClure, and he said when they got Soria, they got him to be a starter. And then they used him in the 6th inning one time and in the 7th inning one time. And he said to McClure, he goes, you know, I can close. I said, really? Yeah, so they tried him closing. 9 pitches, 3 outs.
That'll work.
He walked by McClure and said, I told you I could close. Been a closer since then.
Paulie fighting that one off.
He's not overpowering, but he does have very good control.
Moves the ball around.
Yeah, and everything that he throws moves, and he uses all 4 quadrants. And
right.
The ability to do that, along with a real good curveball, is what makes him a unique type of closer, because he doesn't have that big fastball.
Well, he's just not an in-and-out guy. In-and-out guys can be covered. When you're in and out and then up and down, that's a different story. And that curveball. 1-2. Hitters don't mind guys who are just in and out. They don't like guys who are in and out and up and down. Got him. 2 down.
Big strikeout, but now it sets up the stage for Alexi to bail him out.
Alexei is 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts today.
Bloomquist has a good arm, not great arm in right field. He makes up for it by charging everything aggressively.
Curveball hangs inside. And the count 1-0. Come on, Alexei.
He's going to be mired because normally Alexei will try to pull the ball.
And a good take right there. 2-0. 2-0 right here.
Well, nobody is paying any attention to Gordon Beckham at second base, so he's able to get as much of a lead as he wants and as much of a secondary lead as he wants.
Don't chase a pitcher's pitch. Make a commitment right here. And the count 3-0 with Jermaine Dye on deck.
Let's look at Jermaine, who was hit the last time up.
There it is, right there. And the count 3-1. Alexei has faced Soria twice. He is 0 for 2. And that's ball 4. That'll load him up for Jermaine.
Be a good time for the first hit ever by Jermaine Dye against Soria. Because they're not going to pay much attention at second base to AJ. He's going to be able to get a very big jump.
The man is 0 for 7. Lifetime. Right here, 23. Right man, right spot, right place, right time. Makes a good pitch on him. On the outside edge or the outside corner. Outfield for the most part straight up and spread out. Sox packed with Sox. We trail it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 out. And that's popped up. That's a can of corn for Willie Bloomquist. So once again, we have stranded the bases loaded twice today, also with 2 men 1 time, and we still trail it 2-1. In the morning, presented by Chicago Area Lesset. Get the latest news on your Chicago teams, plus weather, traffic, and a whole lot of fun. Tune in tomorrow as legendary Chicago Bear Dick Butkus joins Mike North and Dan Jiggets in studio. Don't miss Monsters in the Morning tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Matt Thornton comes into the game at 6-3, ERA 273, on for the 65th time. It's a one-run deficit, and Matt has got to keep it right there.
First pitch inside to Mitch Meyer, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI.
One thing you do have to watch is the bunt.
Fouls that back. And before this game is over, I'd be remiss in not thanking Ari Hest. Ari Hest for such a fine job entertaining the fans before the game and then on our national anthem. There's a strike. And the count 1-2. Outfield for the most part straight up. There's a gap out there in left center. Beckham back and well off the line at third. And that's up and in. 2-2 the count. Meyer just did get a piece of it. And a reminder, tomorrow, Minnesota Twins in town to be announced for us on the bump against Nick Blackburn. On Tuesday, Johnny Danks against Jeff Manship. And on Wednesday, Mark Burley against Brian Dunsing. And that's the dreaded leadoff walk. So a terrific job by Freddie Garcia.
I thought he was about as good as you can be today, limiting this team to just 2 runs on 5 hits, only 1 extra base hit. That was leading off the game to Willie Bloomquist, and then he stole third, scored.
So here's Billy Butler. Takes first pitch strike. Butler has walked. He's gone out to right, and he has grounded to short.
Butler's grounded into 19 double plays this year.
Well, he should. He hits the ball very hard.
Hits the ball hard and doesn't run well, and that spells double play.
Gets sawed off right there. Alex coming on. Yes. Nice. Nice play by Alex Rios. I didn't think he was going to get there.
Well, he closed an awful lot of ground and got a good break on this ball. Normally, this one drops into center field, but Rios makes the play, cradles it as it lands in his glove. And that's a big out.
Better believe it.
And Jacobs will be taken down for a pinch hitter.
Miguel Olivo.
Apparently the cramps have departed.
And here's what he did on Friday. He had a couple home runs and 6 RBIs. 23 on the season. For our guys in the bottom of the 9th inning, it'll be the lower third of the order. Quentin, Getz, and Rios.
And Olivo, who plays most all the time, has only had 3 opportunities to pinch hit, and he's 0 for 3.
Outfield just about straight away. Meyer has good speed. He is 7 for 9 in stolen bases, but he has better defensive speed than he does offensive speed. And that happens to quite a few guys. Had a player with the White Sox a long time ago. Outfielder named Chet Lemon. Chet was a good player. Good outfielder.
Very good player. Moved from shortstop to center field, was center fielder with the Sox.
Had terrific defensive speed and couldn't steal a base.
Well, he spun his wheels all the time. He dug in so hard that he never got going. But he looked like he was running
so
real
hard.
fast.
In fact, Beckham, Gordon, when he first came up, first couple of steals he tried, he stood there and spun. He was trying so hard, he just sitting there and running in motion, running in place.
Well, it's technique, and whether it's hitting, fielding, or stealing bases, there's a technique to it.
After one of the games, Gordon comes up to me and says, "How can I get out of spinning my wheels, Hulk?"
It's no tires.
I said, "Put it in gear. Take it out of neutral."
Chet Lemon in one game, and he was a teammate of mine. He had one of the most unusual games I've ever seen because he was picked off first base. He was thrown out trying to steal second. He was thrown out going from first to third on a single. And he was thrown out trying to score from first on a double at the plate. He got thrown out at every base. I'd never seen it before or after.
I've never seen it. No, I haven't either. Chet's a good guy. Good player.
He played with a lot of enthusiasm, that's for sure.
0-2 the count to Miguel. We're starting to get a little rain. Way high.
The lights have been on for a bit as the visibility decreases. Now with the gentle rain falling. Couldn't pick a better time for a double play with this catcher running, although he's a better than average runner.
He gone.
Good slider down and in, and Olivo swings over the top of it.
So here's Callaspo. He's 0 for 3 today.
A switch hitter, and this is his best side. 366 is a right-hand hitter.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And the count 2-0. Well, evidently Matt remembers that.
I wouldn't be that worried about Meyer at first base because if he does steal, you're going to walk Callaspo. And I think Trey Hillman wants him to hit.
And the count 3-0.
Here's a look at Trey. Been clean shaven for a while.
There's one. Come back and get him, Matt. We're just tuning in. Royals 1 in the first, 1 in the third. Our Sox 1 in the fourth. 2 5-0 for them, 1 5-0 for us. Here in the finale, the rubber match of this 3-game set.
Dave Owen at third base had the good sense to get down and watch that line drive go over his head as Callaspo hit it awfully hard. Paul's going to take one step away from Meyer by holding him close at first.
And a payoff pitch. He gone. Breaking ball. And that'll do it. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We need one to tie. Rios here in the bottom of the ninth. 2-1 Kansas City in a big game for our Sox.
And all the runs scored in the first 4 innings. 5 through the top of the ninth, nothing. And they've got their closer on. He picked up 2/3 of an inning in the 8th, and Soria is still on.
First ball, Hunting pops it up right field. 1 pitch and 1 out. Well, we've had the bases loaded twice, 2 men on another time, and have not been able to come up with that hit. And that, for the most part, has been the story in August and September.
Even the 4th inning, if you take a look back at the 4th inning, you get 2 hits, you get a stolen base, you get 2 walks, and you come away with only 1 run. And opportunities like that squandered early turn into deficits late.
So here's Chris. Takes first pitch strike. If you're just joining us, Freddie Garcia, 8 innings, just 2 runs, 5 hits, was just outstanding.
Soria has a backdoor cutter that he throws. It's a la Mariano Rivera, who was just started to throw that backdoor cutter the last few years. And it's really tough because left-handers give up on it.
Softly hit. And Butler's going to take it himself, as he should, for out number 2.
2 cutters and a curveball, and a rapid dispatch if Chris gets. And we got a pinch hitter now for Rio. It's going to be Mark Kotze.
There are the numbers on Mark. Takes first pitch strike. Can we do it with 2 out, nobody on? Come back in this ball game.
But when pitching more than 1 inning, Soria 5 of 6.
Good eye. 1-1 to count. Detroit now leading Minnesota 5-2. Game in the top of the 8th inning. Good check. 2-1. Batty Pod's on deck if Kotze can reach. Kotze, just a terrific guy to have on the ball club. Play anywhere for you. Good hitter, good pinch hitter. Could be a real key to this ball club in 2010. 3-1.
Trying to keep it alive for Scott Posednik. He's got a couple of hits today.
There's a shot base hit right back through the middle.
He's going to get a 3-1 fastball. He knew that. And that's why lifetime right around 370 as a pinch hitter.
Wayne Wise is going to come out and run for him. That's just a good professional right there at the bat. Even though we're running one down, he didn't go out and try to hook it where you get out in front and hit that ground ball to the right side. He just took it right back through the middle.
And here comes McClure once again. He's going to talk to him about what they want to do with Scott Posednik, and they're probably going to play a whole lot deeper in the outfield. Nice at bat by Mark Kotze. Looking for a 3-1 fastball. He got it and took it right back up the middle to keep it alive. Wise 4 out of 7 in stolen bases.
So here we go. Scotty Potts 2 for 4. With a stolen base and a run score. There's first pitch strike. There he goes. High throw, but they get him. And this ball game is over. So the Sox lose a toughie this afternoon. Get a great performance from Freddie Garcia, Stone Pony, and just can't put in points on the board.
Well, Freddie did his job. He did whatever he could possibly do, and at the end it was the arm of John Buck that ended the game. Ozzie took a gamble. He ran with Dwayne Wise, but it was a good throw to second base. And probably this game could